Hello, cherished viewers on Kukuza Africa. It's such a great joy coming your way again today on this program, and it's a pleasure to have with us two distinguished gentlemen who have come all the way from Banjul in the Gambia. They are officials of the Gambian Youth Council, and I'll just do that introduction right away. To my immediate left is Mr. Ousman Fati, who is the chairman of the Gambian Youth Council, and Mr. Bulung Jarjusey of the finance department of the Gambian Youth Council. It's such a great pleasure having you gentlemen. You flew 4 hours, I believe, across the sub-region to be with us here, in our studios, and we deeply appreciate you taking out time to be with us today. So you are welcome on the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And I know we've been together for close to a week. I mean, starting from the training program on fundraising and endowment for non-profit and social enterprise organizations in the sub-region. And you participated so wonderfully and interactively at that program. We learned quite a couple of things about the Gambia in the process, and we just said to ourselves that we'll not let you go until you throw more insight, and then we can share with our viewers and stakeholders what the situation exactly is like with the Gambian youth. And we know you're leaving tomorrow, but this is a good time, I believe, for us to speak with you. So I will just start right away by asking Mr. Ousman Fati, the chairman of the Gambian Youth Council, to give us, an insight into the socio-economic state of the Gambian youth.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Yeah. It's a great pleasure to be here, and we've learned a lot within this short period of time that we've been with you. As you rightly introduced, my name is Ousman Fati, chairman Gambian National Youth Council. I was appointed late last year by the Honorable Minister in consultation with the President of the Republic to lead the National Youth Council. And then we are doing so far so good since our appointment. To your question, the socio-economic development of the Gambian youth is still below the average, particularly to the young folks that have little or unskillful laborers, because it's still I don't know whether you are aware, the unemployment ratio is still high, particularly among the youth folks.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is due to mainly because the illiteracy ratio is still high. Though the government, we are really thankful to the present government. They have created an enabling environment where you can excel. Gambians youth got talent, and they can excel with the current environment that is created by this current government. So we really thank the current government for creating an enabling environment for the young people to excel.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I would also say, off the cuff, that the Gambian president, we can consider him as youth too. He's still relatively a young man.
Yeah, he's a young man.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not difficult to understand why he would have the sympathy of youth at heart. Now, but what would you say is the population of the Gambia youth in Gambia?
Population youth in the Gambia stands around 1.2. Because Gambia is a small country with a population of about 1.8. Officially, during the last census, we are about 1.8. And the youth population forms about 65% of the population, which stands to be around 1.2. As we
stand. Yes. And out of this 1.2, how many would you say are constructively engaged, employed, in either regular employment or in their own businesses?
Yeah, that's what I said during my introduction.
Right.
still unemployment rate is really high. You know,
can you put a figure to it? What
yeah,
percentage?
this is about 40-something percent. 40,
okay.
It's 41.5%.
41.5%.
Okay, 41.5%.
41.5%.
Yeah.
Is still high.
Mm.
And this is what we are faced with.
Right.
You know, to make sure that this high, you know, this number reduce drastically. This is why we are constantly engaged in one activity or the other, you know, to see to it that this rate has dropped down significantly.
So we are looking at effectively about 500,000 Gambian youth out of a population of about 1.8 million Gambians who are not constructively engaged, you know, and in regular employment or doing their own business,
which is very high.
Yes, which is quite high.
Which is quite high.
Which is quite high, you know, for that.
Which is quite high.
Yes, yes. So
with the visionary leadership that we have, you know, we have a young minister like ourselves, you know, and he is visionary, he's dynamic, and he's ready to work, you know, with under his leadership, and I'm quite sure with short time that number will definitely you know, go down, because you know, government has the will to support NYC, and then NYC in turn will support the young people to make sure that that rate, you know, goes down.
Right. And looking through your website, we observed that the Gambian National Youth Council, you know, is a public agency which was established by an act of parliament in the year 2000.
That's true.
And it would be good to know, you know, from you as the chairman of the council, you know, how widespread within the Gambia, you know, are the activities of the Gambian Youth Council. And by that, what we are asking is, you know, how many administrative units, you know, either, I don't know, of regions or districts, as it were, you know, how many of that would you say that the Gambian Youth Council, you know, has effective representation where you're working?
Yes, Gambia National Youth Council is effectively represented across the country. Okay. We have offices almost across all the region, because we have chairpersons in each region. You know, Gambia, we have 7 regions. Okay. So each region we have a chairpersons. That chairperson is elected by the young people within that region. And the chairperson also has his team right to the district level. So Gambia National Youth Council is across the country. And we have a central office in KMC where you have the secretariat. Okay. And then apart from the 7 chairpersons that are elected, you have the female rep plus the chairman who are appointed by the ministry or by the minister in consultation with the President of the Republic. So it's like we are across the country, and it's well structured, you know. So our presence is felt by almost all the young people of the country.
And the headquarters of the Gambian Youth Council is where?
It's in Kanifing at the moment.
Kanifing?
Kanifing, yes.
Kanifing, how far is that from Banjul?
Kanifing not far. It's about 10-15 minutes drive
from Banjul. Yeah, so you can call it a suburb of Banjul.
Exactly.
Or wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. And obviously you have some form of command chain or relationships, you know, between your regional and your national youth councils, I believe.
Yes,
you know, and how does that work out?
Yeah, we do, because as I said, the secretariat is headed by the executive director. Okay. And then whereas the council is headed by my humble self. All right. So in terms of organography, the chairman is the overall head, you know. Then you have the other regional chairpersons. Chairman is the overall head. Then next to the chairman is female rep. Then you have the other chairpersons. Then you have the executive director. The executive director is in charge of the day-to-day running of the office, because he has an office in the secretariat, whereas we are in charge of the governance. So it's like the governance aspect, that's what we are in charge of. Right.
So you effectively oversee the operations?
We oversee the operations of the executive director and the staff. Okay. And then also we are in charge of the employment. Okay. Employment of the staff.
Of the staff.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, let me ask Mr. Bulung at this point in time, yes. You know, to, you know, more or less give us an insight into the specific areas, you know, where the Gambian Youth Council operates. I mean, maybe you have strategic pillars on which your activities, rest, so to say.
Yes.
How many are they, and where? I mean, what are they specifically? I mean, our viewers will love to know, the areas where the Gambian Youth Council concentrates its attention.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I come to your question, my name is Bulung Jarjusey, as you rightly said.
Right.
I'm the finance officer for Gambia National Youth Council. I work with the executive director at the secretariat. Before I come to your question, I just want to throw some light on what he has already said. On the issue of the youth, the economic situation of the youth, there is a lot to be desired. As he said, the 41.5% is a very high figure.
Right.
And definitely there is a lot to be desired.
Right.
And as he said, the council is working very hard to ensure that this figure is being knocked down.
Right.
We usually have a labor force survey every 6 years. The last one before the recent one was done in 2012, and the recent one in 2018. I'm sure we will have another one in 2024. So because all the work that we have been doing, we want to ensure that when next the labor force survey is conducted, we will see the unemployment rate coming down.
Coming down, yeah.
So with regards to how widespread we are in the regions, NYC, as he said, is everywhere in the country.
Right.
Because the structure is such that even the last village in the country is covered. Because we have a council that is high up there. Okay. We also have a regional youth committees that are below the council, and we also have district youth committees, and we also have village youth committees. So if you look at the village youth committees, they made up the district youth committee. Okay. So the district youth committee made up the regional youth committees, and the regional youth committees made up the national youth committee. So that is how the structure is, and that gives us the opportunity to be able to reach to the very, remotest parts of the country with the structure that we have. Coming to your question, we have a strategic pillar. This strategic pillar, it may interest you to know that the Gambia Ministry of Youth and Sports has a national youth policy.
Okay.
So this national youth policy, we derived this strategic document from the national youth policy. It's like all the results and the outcomes, they feed directly into the policy. So we have 10 strategic pillars under the policy. Okay. First is youth leadership and political participation. Okay. Under this pillar, we want to ensure that young people that are interested in politics are able to be given the chance, the platform, the knowledge to be able to go out there and compete. Right. I think there is this concept of not too young to run. I don't know if you have heard it before. Yeah. I think it started in Nigeria, I believe. So, but we have domesticated it in Gambia also. The last election, we had young people that the office supported to be able to partake in the election process. And for the first time in the history of the Gambia, the last National Assembly election, we had a candidate who won, and he was 23 years of age. Wonderful. And that was really commendable. Right. So those are the things that we want to achieve as far as this pillar is concerned. So the second pillar is education and entrepreneurship. Okay. Education, entrepreneurship, and employment. Right. Since the change of government in 2017, we had an influx of projects that are geared towards, helping young entrepreneurs to scale up their ventures. Right. Key among them is the Youth Empowerment Project. Right. The Youth Empowerment Project usually provides startup capitals and also provide equipment for young people that are into various types of entrepreneurship. On the side of education also, we try to support as much as possible to ensure that young people that have difficulty in completing their education at the university level, at the senior secondary school level. We do not have a scholarship scheme, but sometimes the needy students at the level of the office, we help them. Right. We also have curbing irregular migration. Migration is one of the biggest problems that we have in irregular migration in the country. So as a result of this, we have, as a youth council, we have taken a lot of interventions. We have started a lot of interventions. One of them is, before we do not have a migration officer in the office, but now we have created a full portfolio where we employ a person that will be looking at migration trends and will be able to advise the office as to what would be the next step. Yeah. After that, also in collaboration with the International Office for Migration, that is IOM, we have established migration information centers in the regions in the Gambia. Okay. It's a pilot program, and we started with 4 regions. We are having these centers in 4 regions, where young people can go and have information about what exists in the country, so that they can tap into them.
And those information centers, more or less, from what you've said now, would accurately inform the young youth. People. So probably to give them alternatives to,
perfect,
any wrong decisions they may have taken already.
Yes, that is the purpose of this. So we also have access to information as part of the CSO coalition that is formed in the Gambia to ensure that the access to information bill, is being passed at the National Assembly. It's still at the National Assembly though, but not yet been passed. But we are part of the offices that are trying to ensure that this bill is passed. In the area of corruption, we are also doing a lot of things. I remember recently, the National Assembly members approved for themselves a loan scheme of 54 million Gambian dollars. Yeah. This was challenged by one of the youth groups that are registered with us in collaboration with other partners. And they challenged them in the Supreme Court, and the court overturned the decision, and the loan scheme never materialized. We also have information technology. I must say there are some pillars that we are lacking behind, because at the level of the office, it's difficult for us to tap resources into some of these things. But this year, we have established what we call the Youth Creative Lab. This lab is, as we speak, we are equipping the lab. We will have computers there and all that. So what we want to do, we want to ensure that young people that are interested in this will be able to use the platform and scale up whatever they want to do as far as information technology is concerned. We have environment, climate change, and biodiversity. As we are speaking now, I think we have one of the biggest cleaning exercise happening in one of the regions, in the Upper River region, in the administrative capital, and it's the youths that are, championing this cause. And climate change, we have been doing a lot of, tree planting exercises and all that with our youth groups, sometimes pioneered by the youth groups, and we support them as a council. So gender-based violence, we have, is one of the areas that most of our young female activists are interested in, and they have done quite a lot as far as trying to fight gender-based violence and ensure that young people are aware of their sexual and reproductive rights.
All right.
So we have peace, security, and justice. Peace, security, and justice. Peace is everybody's business. Right. Peace is one of the most important things that, in fact, is the most important thing. Everything in this world revolves around peace. That's true. So as we speak, we have, in collaboration with the UN bodies, we have what we call the Peace Building Fund. So this Peace Building Fund, we implement activities around peace. So we have about 6 other youth groups, and including the National Council for Civic Education, that are with us in that project. So in order for us to just promote our peace. Creative industry, this one, as I said on the other one, is one of the things that are also lacking. So in fact, one of the reasons why we want to come for this training with you is to be able to raise finances and be able to deliver on all these strategic pillars that we have. There are some strategic pillars that we are doing well. but other strategic pillars we are very much lacking behind. But how do we get funds to be able to at least scale them up also?
Right.
Agriculture.
You know what?
Yes. Sorry, I skipped agriculture. Yes. Agriculture is one of them.
Yeah.
So we also have a lot of youth groups that are also on the agriculture. Yeah, we also support them as well. Yeah.
On the agriculture, are you looking at specific products, or are you looking at integrated farming, or what kind of agri practices are you advocating? And encouraging the youth to participate in? Which specifically? Is it a mono-product or a multi-product initiative?
Yeah, I think we will want to do multi-product initiative. Okay. Because
so tell us a little bit about that in the Gambia. I mean, what are the agric products for which Gambia has an advantage in producing? Which could, more or less make Gambia to become a net exporter of food, which is the motivation, sometimes, to assist agri groups.
Yeah, I think in the Gambia, since from the First Republic, I think we were one of the leading producers of groundnut.
That's true.
In the sub-region.
Right.
But for some reason, the production of groundnut in the country has dropped down.
Right.
But I think this is one of the things that we can, revive again and do.
Yeah.
But the other thing that is also taking center stage in the Gambia agriculture is cashew production.
Cashew, wonderful.
Yeah, so cashew production is definitely...
And it has a high export
definitely
component.
Yeah. So, these are some of
the cayenne pepper, the dry, the long-fingered pepper.
We do have pepper, but usually the farmers, these vegetable crops, they only grow them for the market.
Okay.
They just, when they harvest it from their farms, and they will just take it to the market and sell. Maybe that is something that we can also look at.
Okay.
How do we mechanize those things so that they can look beyond the market, and go so outside.
Can increase.
Yeah. So, but I just want to say this: we have this initiative called the GSI initiative.
Okay.
As I was saying the other time, just like what we have in Benin, but that is under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It's not under our management.
Right.
But this also provides
young
people.
Farming.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Young people that are interested in agriculture to go and learn about different practices of agriculture.
Yeah.
And when they graduate, they go on their own to practice their.
So would you be doing business, agric business incubators? Would you be looking along those lines too?
Yeah, definitely. As there was a time I was listening to one video. I forgot the author.
Right.
But he said, if you are a specialist in commodity trade, you don't get rich. So
you don't get rich.
Yes, he said, what you are producing, you should be able to add value to it and be able to sell it out. That is what we are looking at in the Gambia. How do we ensure that what we are producing in the country, before selling it like that, we are able to add value and sell it
and
to
process? Which is, which is a very remarkable decision or intention, which you have. Now, before we begin to talk about, the challenges, and then I'll be coming to you, Ousman Fatih, about the challenges you have in the Gambian Youth Council. I still want to ask Bulung to, let our viewers know, effectively, because you were set up in the year 2000.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would you say has been the rate of effectiveness, or better put, the rate of impact, which the Gambian Youth Council has had on the general socio-economic, condition of the Gambian youth? I mean, what will you say, will be your scorecard, so to say?
Yeah, I think, to be sincere with you, the Gambia Youth Council, before the turn of the decade, let's say starting from 2014 coming on, at some point the operations of the office was very dull.
Okay.
But after that, we were able to pick it up.
Yeah.
And now one of the impacts that we have made is we have made the young people to take ownership
of the process.
Of the council, of the process.
Yeah.
And that is why we have what we call the National Youth Conference and Festival that we usually have biannually, every 2 years that we used to have. This activity, what we do, we called young people all over the country for a week conference and sporting activities and all that. So when we come for this activity, what we do generally is we review what we have been doing. Or what do we want. And the outcome document is usually taken to the government, where the government will take that and be able to, and even the establishment of the Gambian National Youth Council itself was an outcome of this activity. Was an outcome of this activity.
It was consensual.
Yeah. So if you look at it, the office has been very much recognized now. I remember last time when the Gambia was doing a shadow report on the VNR, the office was consulted, and the youth's input were also, were also inputted in the report in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance. So, in a nutshell, what we have achieved, I may not be able to put them on figures for now because I didn't do that much research before coming. But what we have been doing, we have been able to do is to create recognition for it and be able to ensure that the government also listens to the young people through the council.
This is wonderful. I mean, looking at your 10 strategic pillars, I must tell you, I can just imagine that when the Gambian Youth Council is adequately resourced to undertake these activities fully, to the extent that you cover all, in your national youth policy document, I can just imagine how much it will impact positively on the average Gambian youth, which we all know are very resourceful people. And more or less they're looking for, various opportunities to assert themselves positively, and as professionals, across the world. Having seen that, I would like to ask you, Ousman Fatih, at this point in time, that what would you consider, to be your major challenges and needs within the Gambian Youth Council?
Yeah, thank you once again. I think the major challenges would be lack of adequate resources, enough resources to undertake our activities. That is the major challenges.
And when you say resources, which
financial, particularly financial resources. Because thank God we now have the human resources is boosted. Because we have highly qualified personnel now within the secretariat. Which is a plus for us. But our major challenge for now is financial resources. Even though we are grateful to the government, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, they have a little bit increased our budget allocation this year, but it's still not enough. So we do appeal, we're still appealing to them to increase it come next year. So that will enable us to do our activities effectively, because we still lack resources to undertake our activities.
Do you have a directed and precise fundraising program in place to fund your activities, short-term, medium-term, long-term? That's one question. The second question I will ask you is, does the Gambian Youth Council have in place something of the nature of an endowment fund, which can ensure that, you get regular payments over the years?
Unfortunately, as of now, we don't. We don't have activities directly that can generate funds for us. Mostly the activities that we undertake are funded outside by UNFPA, the other UN agencies, and that is paid back to the participants But national...
Are they grants or they are loans?
They are not loans. They are
activity-based.
They are activity-based.
Activity-based, okay.
Yes, so they are not loans at all.
And which organizations you say support you already?
UNFPA.
Which other one?
ECOWAS do support us.
Yeah, which other one?
Conrad do support us.
UNICEF.
UNICEF support
UNDP.
Okay. UNDP.
Yeah.
There are quite few of them.
Yeah. So tell us the nature of this support. Is it when you have specific programs or activities?
We get to them.
You go to them.
We go to them
for funding.
We write a proposal, for funding.
Right.
And which we are really grateful.
Right.
Over the time they are able to fund most of our
supporting
activities,
which is wonderful.
With regards to the other one, endowment, we don't have.
Yeah.
But this is one of the reasons why we are here.
Okay.
Is to start something like that, an endowment fund that can generate needed resources for us.
Now you've talked about financial resources. Don't you need materials, machines, that could, assist your appendage groups or your other youth associations, who are closely related with you and whom you are?
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Of course, yes.
What would you consider to be those materials that you
mainly, particularly the agricultural materials and garden materials. Because you have youths who are...
And when you say agricultural materials, what are you talking of? Are you talking of seedlings? Are you talking of tractors?
That's what I'm... Exactly. Seedlings, the inputs, the farming implements, where the youths can, venture into. Because we have vast land. Gambia, we are blessed.
Talking about agric, what is the state of animal husbandry in the Gambia? What's animal farming like in the Gambia?
It's still on the low scale, but at least things are improving, particularly with regards to these poultry. Poultry is on the increase.
Okay. What of cattle rearing?
Cattle rearing is still on the low rate.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's because it's mainly done by what we call the other tribe called the Fullers. And to me, it should not be only restricted to the Fullers.
It should be widespread.
It should be widespread.
So you don't have ranches in the Gambia, cattle ranches?
We do have them, but as I said, it's still on the
low side.
On low side. But with support, we should be able to. The youth would be able to, venture into.
I can imagine that the Gambia is strategically located.
Indeed, yes.
As one of the gateway countries to Europe.
Yes, that's true.
To the UK, to Europe, and also even to the Americas.
That's true.
Now, I can just imagine a situation where you are net exporters.
Yes.
You're exporters of food. Even in the animal husbandry section, you can imagine that processed meats and what have you can be exported out of the Gambia, very effectively, to other parts of the world after having met your own local demands, and also even to other parts of West Africa, to the sub-region, So it's a huge potential, that is more or less knocking at your doorsteps. I mean, you are a few steps away from Europe.
Very true.
And I think that with the very stable political atmosphere you've had in the country, for a while, it means that investment in these sectors, can be, something which, almost every discerning investor will want to get into. So apparently we're looking at a situation where the Gambian Youth Council, in order to fully meet its mandate in these strategic 10 pillars, these 10 strategic pillars, of course we'll need both financial and material resources to be able to accomplish that. And you are looking at putting in place an effective fundraising drive, which will essentially take care of your short-term and your medium-term financing, and then of course endowments which will take care of your long-term, and will subsist, for quite a while. You've mentioned, quite some partner organizations or let's say international donors who come, I would say, to your rescue whenever you have activities, but that in itself cannot totally replace your own marketing drive for funds or mobilization for funds, to effectively bridge the gap and, meet, what your activities demand.
Yes, that's true.
Let me ask you at this point. Assuming you were to engage with, a larger audience of partner organizations, what would you be, expecting from them, or what would you expect from them, as partner organizations, assuming they come from the sub-region, West African sub-region, assuming they come from Europe, I mean, what would you be looking out for as, a relationship that would be mutually beneficial?
Yeah, I think if I may come in, for me, what we are doing right now as an office, we are doing quite well. We are doing a lot of things, especially in the area of advocacy. But for me, advocacy for me to a greater extent, it's not the most effective ways to engage young people or to change the minds of young people. For me, I would prefer we have when I get to this platform you talk about, one of the things that I will discuss with the potential investors is projects that are going to engage our young people. Right. Projects that are going to take young people out of their comfort zones and be able to make money. Most of the issue of irregular migration, I think we have a problem with it because young people have too much time to think about it. I believe if we have tangible projects that engage these young people, like for instance, if we have a synergy with an agriculture company in the UK, for example, part of the agreement, they want to provide us with farming implements. Right. I told you that we have some farmer associations that are always in the farms. Unfortunately, our rainy season also is very short. It's just 4 months. But if we have these farm implements from them, we can produce whatever. For example, if their raw material is groundnut, we can produce groundnut in large quantity. And they can come back and buy the groundnut from us. Right. In this, they will be like kind of doing a backward integration. Right. Going back to their source of raw material. Right. And be able to provide material for some people that will be able to produce raw materials for them. Right. And they will be in turn buying from them. Let's look at it this way. Yes,
I'm sure it will be a wonderful thing to export. Yes. The raw materials. Yes. But you also made mention of something earlier.
Yes, I was coming to that.
Yes. So I can imagine. All right.
But I wanted to say for a start.
For a start.
We can do that. Right. We will be earning money on that. Right. When we get to a certain level that we have enough money, we can also look at producing groundnut oil in the Gambia. Yeah. And be able to sell it there. Yes, processing the groundnut. To produce
secondary products. Good. Yes. Which has the potential to directly increase the GDP of the country.
Definitely. So this is one of the proposals that I will have for.
Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine that Gambia is such a beautiful country, and you have the right climatic conditions also, for agric to thrive. Sure. And I think one thing you have in your advantage, or rather to your advantage, is the fact that you have the River Gambia running through the entire country. So I mean, irrigated farming, I think is the easiest thing to do, and that's fresh water anyway.
It's fresh water,
and so I mean, that is so wonderful to know. To round up at this point in time, I want to ask one question which quite a couple of people. Yes, Mr. Bulung,
I wanted to come on the area of resources.
Okay.
To some specificities, like the Gambia National Youth Council at the moment, we are renting.
Okay.
Fortunately for us, we have the Ministry of Lands have allocated a land for us. So one of the biggest challenges we have is the offices. The office we are renting is very small also, and it makes it difficult for us. Our plan is to have a bigger space where we will have most of these national youth organizations with us, and the coordination that we do will be more effective.
Right.
Yeah, rather than having a widespread of youth organizations everywhere in the country.
Right.
So we are looking at that, and if you look at the mobility of the council,
right.
As we speak, we only have the director has, of course, an official vehicle. But apart from the director's vehicle, we have one utility vehicle, and this is one of the things that also hampered our operation, considering an office that is supposed to serve 1.2 million young people in the country that has a utility, only one utility vehicle. That is definitely a big challenge.
A big challenge. You need vehicles, to move around and to effectively crisscross the country.
Definitely.
Because Gambia is also a big country. Though in relative terms, you would say it's small, but it's quite some distance going from east to west of the country. And Bulung, since you are in the finance unit, I just need you to speak this clearly to our viewers, to us in the studio and to our viewers before I round up, with Ousman Fatty. Do you see the possibility of putting in place a local fundraising drive within the Gambia as well as the international? Do you have local capacity for fundraising in the Gambia?
Well, locally, I can say yes, depending on what we want to do. We have learned about the fundraising types. What we can do at the level of the office, we can do crowdfunding. Those ones are possible. We can do some fundraising through our website also. We can do special events for fundraising.
Locally?
Locally.
So local galas?
But internationally, we will definitely need, let's say, a consultant that can provide some specialized advice as far as those things are concerned.
What I'm happy about is the fact that, you are not only looking beyond the shores of the Gambia, but you also are developing, or you're going to develop, a homegrown solution, in fundraising, to complement whatever, comes in from wherever. And that is, a very, very encouraging position to know about the Gambian Youth Council. Thank you, Mr. Bulung. To round up all too soon, I want to give Ousman Fatty an opportunity to do, two things. The first one is to explain to us why the Gambia is referred to as the smiling
coast of Africa.
That is one. Because I know many of our viewers will not have an insight into that, And then, as you do that, let me say those are two questions in one. Tell us a little bit about the tourism sector of the Gambia. Thank you. And then the final will be for you to, address our viewers out there and tell them the things you want to tell them about the Gambia and what you think the engagement of the rest of the world would be with the nation of Gambia. So start by telling us why the smiling coast.
Thank you very much once again. Why the smiling coast? As you can see, and you can attest to that, since I arrived earlier, we've been smiling.
Wonderful.
So Gambia, whoever you meet, they will always be smiling.
Wonderful.
And they are very accommodative.
So you smile more than the average African.
Exactly.
And we need that in Africa.
Yes. So they are welcoming. Gambia, is a peaceful nation.
Yes.
And we have the most beautiful, land. Yes. And ozone, for that matter.
Oh, wonderful.
We have one of the best and most beautiful Atlantic ozone.
Really?
Yes.
Your waterfront?
Exactly. Atlantic ozone.
So what's tourism like?
Tourism is very attractive. It's one of the most I mean, beautiful destination that you can visit as a tourist.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can never regret it.
Yeah.
Because Gambia still, you know, we are peaceful. You can walk in Gambia even midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Really?
alone.
Really?
No problem. Yes, the
Wonderful.
security is still okay. It's very good.
It's good.
The environment is friendly. People are friendly. We have natural resources there that are attractive to the tourists.
All right.
You know, Gambia is one of the beautiful places that you can.
What are
visit.
the best times of the year to visit the Gambia? Well, when would you say is your tourist season?
The best time would be during summer. You know, summer and the winter too.
When is summer?
Winter, because
in the Gambia?
most of the time, you know, we have natural sun.
Okay.
You know, you can enjoy the sun all the time.
Right.
You know, when Europe will be cool,
right.
You know, you can enjoy Gambia.
Right.
So we have, you know, across almost 24 hours.
Okay.
You know, or almost 12 months.
Of the year?
Of the year. You can do tourism almost 12 months of the year.
I mean,
yes,
that is,
almost,
I mean, that's
almost.
very, that's very encouraging.
Exactly.
You know, that you can visit a country, you know, 12 months of the year.
Almost, yes. Almost.
I mean, there's no.
But mainly our tourism season start around October.
Oh, yeah.
You know, between October. That's the main tourism season.
Okay.
But believe in me, you can visit Gambia anytime.
When are your winter months?
This is around October, November, December.
Expect me in winter.
And then summer is,
Expect
you know,
me in winter.
we are currently in summer. Currently we are in summer.
I know you're in summer. So, but you say you start in October.
Yes, October.
Expect me in winter because I think I've had enough sun in Africa.
Yes.
For a lifetime.
Okay, you're welcome.
So, Ousman, just talk to our viewers.
Yes,
you know,
thank you.
In 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity.
And give them an opportunity, you know, to have an insight.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to us. You know, since our stay here, this is one of the, you know, most beautiful country. We've really enjoyed our stay, and the people of the Ghana, they are almost similar to people of Gambia.
Gambia, right?
Yes, they are very accommodative.
Right.
The reception was very nice.
Yeah.
Well, Gambia, believe in me, we want you to visit Gambia,
right?
Because at the moment, the environment is conducive.
Right.
Government has
created
environment for everybody for investment.
Right.
The enabling environment is there,
right,
where you can do your investment,
right,
and you have a lot of potentials.
Yeah.
You know, so Gambia is a hope for peace.
Yeah. So foreign investors don't have anything to fear.
No, foreign investors have nothing to fear.
Just law and order.
Just law and order.
The courts work.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And how long does it take to register a business in the Gambia?
No, it takes you only 1 day to register a business.
One day?
1 day to register a business.
In Africa?
In Gambia.
Yeah,
if you have all your papers in place,
yes,
all your documents, you register a business 1 day.
You serious?
Yes, 1 day. You know, so Gambia welcomes almost all foreigners. Gambia welcomes almost all foreigners, and they are very nice people. They are always smiling. You know, you can walk around, you can see the beautiful nature. Yeah. You know, all year round.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that means invariably that international donor groups, international funders, angel investors, you know, and the like would, you know, find Gambia a very suitable, lucrative, comfortable place, you know, to either provide grants, or you know, to to get involved in, you know, equity participation, either in existing businesses or new businesses. That are,
believe in me, Gambians, they got talent.
Yeah.
All what they need, all what they lack at the moment is resources.
The resources.
So with adequate resources, they will excel. Because they are really excelling elsewhere around the world.
That's true.
Yeah, they are excelling elsewhere around the world.
True.
So because they
we meet the Gambians doing very well in Europe. Very well in the States.
Very well. Yes, we thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Ousman Fatih and Bulung Jarjusey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to having you away again, you know, when you come. And viewers, all too soon, we've come to the end of this very exciting time with our good friends from the Gambia. And just what I want to say is, you know, take the opportunity, go on the internet, Google as much as possible, or rather search via Google, pardon me, and you know, do, you know, your research on the Gambia, go to the website of the Gambian Youth Council, and see the affiliated organizations and how, you can participate in the development of the youth of the Gambia. And more so, they've talked about their tourism sector. It's exciting, and I hope to experience it very soon. They have also, more or less, encouraged people participating from all over the world, to come in and invest. Imagine you can get your certificate of registration. You can completely register your business in one day. This is the first time I'm hearing of that in Sub-Saharan Africa. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you.
And we wish you a safe journey as you head back tomorrow to the Gambia.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.